What's up guys, it's Mars Reviews and today we're going to be reviewing my iPhone 6s. I have the 6s from back from 2015 December when this phone was brand new. From that day forward I've been using this phone for the last let me recall, the 3 years, almost 2.5 years, and this thing has been running flawlessly. And as you can see, everything on this phone works quite good. And this thing has Apple A8 Bionic chip with a quad-core processor that is clocked at 1.3 GHz and has 22 GB of RAM. But the previous version of it, the iPhone 6, that had like the bending issue, had 1 GB of RAM. This thing actually gives very good benchmarks and benchmark scores, and I'm not going to do that here because that might make the phone quite very hot, because I never take the phone off like the stock temperature, that is quite like normal temperature. And as you can see, the phone is running the phone has a 12 megapixel camera with a dual flash. I can zoom in to show you guys the flash, and as you guys can see here, the flash is a quad flash, dual flash. So as you can see, with this thing it can shoot up to 4K 30 frames per second, and it has a 12 megapixel revised camera that has the aperture 2.1 f2.1 and has the resolution of with the standard resolution you can get like 720p at 60 frames, 720p 30 frames, 1080p 60 frames, and 4K 30 frames. So the most suitable setting for this one is like basically the best one, the 4K 30 frames, or if you want to get better frame rates, go for a 1080p 30 frames. Oh sorry, 60 frames. And now let's get on to the video. So this phone is packing the Apple special 3D Touch Force display. As you can see, I can do anything right now with like this, and I can like see, you can see I can do anything with like the stock Apple apps, and even some like these kind of Facebook, Instagram, like these apps, they take advantage of it. And Skype does not take advantage. Snapchat takes a little bit. Messenger also takes advantage of it. So now let's just try to clear all the apps, and now let's start for a boot up test. So I'm going to turn the phone on and see how fast the phone restarts again. Sorry guys for background noise, there was some door closing. And now 3, 2, 1, go. And the phone is on. And now this thing, as you can see, has quite a good bright display for a quite old phone. The phone of this generation, the Android phone, they didn't even have like the 4K options to record even at 15 frames per second. I am quite amazed by how Apple introduces their tech. Apple, even though my personal daily driver, that is an iPhone, that is a Samsung Galaxy S4, has 2 GB of RAM, but Apple even uses every byte of its RAM towards optimization. The phone never quite like stalls or hangs. So this is quite good by Apple, because Android phones of this era, they used to always like do silly things. They used to crash my Samsung Galaxy S4. It has crashed many times on me. And now let's just try to test out the camera. As you can see, I'm going to like put my camera cap over here, and let's try to take like a good shot of it. Like, okay. And now try to lock the focus here and take. And as you guys can see, the absolutely brilliant shot that has been taken by this phone. And now let's try to test out the selfie camera of this phone. This thing has a 7 megapixel 6 megapixel camera that is f2.3 aperture. So let's try to take like a selfie, and as you can see, such a brilliant, wonderful shot taken by this phone. This phone takes astronomical photos. With that, Apple even optimizes every bit of its phone. Like this, the phone never hangs. Like as you can see, the phone never hangs. The phone has an IPS panel that has the resolution of 1136 by 728 pixels. That is quite high for such a big processor, because Apple tries to optimize their displays with their processor and their processors to run better games and run better things at such a low temperature, and not like heat up the phone and like cause it to explode like the Samsung Galaxy Note 7. And this thing has an 1286 milliamp hour cell. That is quite good, because I'm getting like a day of usage every day, even though I use quite a lot of games such as table tennis, CSR Racing 2. Else than that, I use all of my like Instagram and other things as well. And with that, even running full load, this thing gets quite good battery life. And to anyone buying this phone right now, I would seriously recommend this phone to anyone buying. So that would be my review. Please give a like and subscribe if you can. And till next time, YOLO.